morning or good afternoon whenever you're watching this, or good evening. So I wanted to make a video if you're new to the whole group support. This group that I'm on right now, if you're seeing this video at a later time, the video is originally being made for the Facebook support group, Narcissist Support from YouTube. And so if you're new to the whole thing, say you just had this experience where you realized that you were with a problematic person. Maybe you had a relationship that was ongoing for a while, or maybe you have a parent or a sibling or somebody that is just overstepping their boundaries and not giving you any space to be you. If that's a situation you've come into and you realize you have to make a change, maybe you're learning about things, then here's some of the things that helped me and that I've helped a lot of people do as well, that I've suggested and recommended. First off, chances are there's probably one person that is really problematic in your life. So what you want to do is you want to realize that you want to make changes, okay? You want to make changes and protect yourself, okay? And when I mean protect yourself, I'm talking more, of course, physically. If there's any violence, that's a whole different area that I can't go into here, but mentally and emotionally, you want to protect yourself. And chances are you've already been protecting yourself by being defensive, by, defending yourself, right? Somebody says something to you and it's not right, and so you tell them, no, that's not correct. You tell them the truth. Well, I would tell you that that's exactly what that person wants you to do, that problematic person. So what I'm going to suggest is that you start modifying your behavior. Number one, if you can go no contact with that person, that means not answering the phone, not looking at text messages from them, not replying to them, not spending physical time with them, avoiding them, changing workplaces, changing homes, changing your physical environment, not looking at them on Facebook, not doing anything that would involve your sense of needing them, or not doing anything where you connect with them emotionally or whatever. If you can do that, that's the number one thing that you can do. But what's going to happen is you're going to have a void, and you're going to have this desire to reach out to them again or whatever, because chances are you're in a trauma bond. You've developed sort of like an addiction to that person. And so what we recommend is that you replace that time that you would have with that person when you go to text message somebody, that person, say, that you find a support group. And this is a great support group, this group on Facebook, Narcissist Support from YouTube. There's a number of support groups out there. This is one that I am an admin of. And we have quite a few members in here. We have a lot of support. And we imply Dana Morningstar's philosophy, and she is a YouTuber. She started out with her own support site, went on YouTube, and then she's got these Facebook groups as well. So Dana, if you want to see how our philosophy is, watch how Dana recommends going through things. I'm just giving you kind of a male perspective, and what my experience is using Dana's material and other YouTubers' material as well, in the books I've read, the books that Dana's recommended. So again, this is if you're new, so chances are you've had that, so you want to go no contact, okay? And there's a lot of things, how to go no contact. Now, if you have children, if you have something where you have to have contact with them, and a lot of people will say, well, I have to have contact with them because, we're married, or I did this, or really, though, you can make choices. You can do things that you might not believe you can do, but you can actually go no contact with that person unless legally you have to. You either have kids with them, and that's the only really thing I can think of. If you have a financial interest in them, say they're a business partner, sell your shares in your business, get out, somehow separate yourself from that person, because I would propose to you that you're going to be worse off if you stay. Say, well, I have to stay attached to this person. They have the title, they have the deed there. My name is on the house with them. Do whatever you can to divest yourself of them, because those type of people will want you locked into them. They want a commitment from you because they need you. They need you more than they'll tell you they don't need you, but they actually need you more than you think. They need you for emotional regulation. and they'll have you here, and then they'll have their sex partners over here, they'll have their business people over here, and sometimes they'll mix up the two, and they'll have sex with their business partners. They have no boundaries, okay? And, you know, if husband, wife, if they're committed, well, you're committed to them because you follow morals and principles and standards, but they have a different level of standards because they never had that development to be emotionally mature. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to understand better how they think. But before you do that, I would just go no contact, trust people on this, look at what people in the support group have said when they've gone no contact, why they've gone no contact, how the benefits are going no contact. There's a lot of benefits. Mainly it's to protect yourself, because chances are you've been protecting yourself being defensive. Well, and again, that's exactly what they want. These people thrive on your defensiveness. They want to see you squirming and being shameful and feeling guilty. That's how they feel good about themselves. It's an inverse relationship. You know, when you got into that relationship, you thought it was going to be like how you think it is, where, you know, you're both going to work together and you're both going to build something together and you're both going to be open and honest. But they don't work that way. They work with a power over philosophy. And it's not a philosophy that they really have a choice of. It's just how they know life. It's how they deal with life. They have to power over you. They have to have one up on you. They always have to win. And you'll see this in the relationships they have with other people. You kind of get if you're with an intimate person, you see them behind the scenes and how they treat other people, and you will start to see patterns. Maybe you never really witnessed these patterns before, or you saw them but you didn't really think too much about them. Well, now Pandora's box has been opened, and now you're seeing that, wow, this is a really problematic person. But you also have some hope too, because you realize, wow, if there's a pattern there and other people have seen this pattern and other people are happier now by getting away from this person, then maybe I can do that too. And that's what I'm proposing to you, is that I had the same thing 2 years ago. I was with a problematic person. I was married for 20-some years, but now I'm away from that person. I don't really think about that person. I haven't checked their Facebook page since November of last year. And there's no desire to anymore. But for a while, I wanted to know. I wanted to make sure that you know, justice prevailed, that, you know, people would see her for who she really is, and you know, that sense of fairness, I had to let that go. You know, the revenge, well, people will see who she is. That is something that was eating my lunch. So I kind of had to give that up. But it took time. Okay, it took time of reading books. Reading Pete Walker's CPTSD is a good book. Boundaries is another book. Just learning how to do that, and watching a bunch of videos on YouTube. And I would actually, and I still do this, I fall asleep to videos on YouTube. YouTube is set up now to where you can develop a playlist. So you can make a great playlist of different things. And, you know, you can program your brain, fill your brain with positive thoughts. Louise Hay, if you want something motivational and very comforting, I would say listen to Louise Hay, Hay, I think is her last name, Haye or Hay. Anyways, it'll come up on YouTube, but what you want to do is reprogram your brain. And since you're not going to have contact with that person, you can reprogram your brain. All that time and effort that you spent trying to salvage what little you had out of that relationship, you still had that hope. Well, now you're realizing that it ain't ever going to change, is it? You know, just when you give up, that person is going to know that. They sense that. They thrive on that. These people are very good at that, okay? You're not as good at them at that as they are. You're not as good at sensing when the relationship is about to split, or when the relationship is when you're distancing yourself. They are very sensitive to that. And so once they sense that from you, they will play the sweet mean cycle. They will be sweet to you, and then they will be mean to you when they can. But when they sense you pulling away enough, they will sweet you back in, and then they will be mean to you and push you away and make you. They will push you away to the sense that they can control you, control your emotions. If I can make you happy or sad just by doing things, then that gives me power, and that's what they like. They thrive on that power. They want to be dominant over you. Okay, it makes them feel good about themselves. It's not like they're it's not like they're evil and they're trying to do this out of a sense of just trying to hurt you. They don't care about your feelings. They don't have the same type of feelings that you do. They don't have any empathy, or very little empathy. It doesn't bother them if you're hurt. Where for me, or for a lot of you, it would bother you if you said something to somebody that made them upset. Well, if they say something to you that makes you upset, they like that, because that tells them, I have power over you. And it's not like, but it's not, you know, some people say it's done out of a sense of evil and whatnot. Well, if it's a narcissistic person, not a psychopath, but a narcissistic person, they're doing it just because that's how they survive. That's how they get along in the world. A psychopath actually enjoys that. They enjoy watching other people hurt. Okay, they get a smile, they get a kick out of it. But a narcissist is just doing it just to relieve this anxiousness that they have, this sense of, I'm not worthy, I'm not a great person. They have that going on all the time, okay? And so that's kind of where they're coming from. But what I'm telling you though is you don't want to be around a person like that. There's a lot of other people that are healthier, that are going to be more aligned to to the type of person that you are. But if you've been damaged by them, which a lot of us have, chances are you have now, they have projected onto you. Maybe you were confident before you met them, and you know, it was a great love bombing, you know, you fell in love with them and you thought they thought like you, but now they've kind of emotionally, they've been a vampire. They've sucked the positive emotions out of you. That's what they do. We call them emotional vampires. And so now what you need to do, or what I would propose that you do, is that you give yourself some time, rebuild who you are. In fact, I would say you're going to be a better person from it, because you're going to have all this experience. But you want to get to a point where you're comfortable with being alone. You're alone but not lonely, okay? So and that could be 12 months, it could be 18 months after a relationship. Depends on, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but I propose that you do that. Otherwise, you're going to probably go for somebody else like that too, because these people can sense your vulnerability. They look for people that are more vulnerable because they're easier targets, okay? Yes, you are a target, okay? Now, they don't sit there and go, oh, that person's a target. They do it because they want a sense of love too, right? They want to feel loved. They want to feel important. But their sense of love comes from your attentiveness, your adulation, your adornment of them, your treating them special. So if you drop everything for them, they like that. They like having a slave, okay? That makes them feel special. Now, if you're comfortable doing that, then you probably wouldn't be here on this video. You'd probably be like, well, that's the way it is. I'm the slave and they're the master, and that's kind of how it works. But chances are you didn't sign up for that. When you first met them, you had the sense that they were this loving, great person, and then maybe you've seen behind the curtain now. You're seeing the mask slip. And so now you're realizing, oh crap, this relationship isn't going anywhere. The more you see behind the mask and you're still around them, the more they're going to not have to put on that illusion for you. The more they're just going to be the crappy selves they really are, okay? They are not people. They don't have empathy, so they could give a crap about how you feel about things. They're going to do what they're going to do. And if they know that you know how they already are, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse for you because there won't be any filters in then. Here's what's happening. If they say there's a scale of 1 to 10, and 10 is the absolute worst as far as treating you poorly, okay? If I treat you 10, I'm treating you the worst. If I start treating you like a 3 and you're still with me, say I'm the narc, then I'm like, wow, okay. I start treating you like a 4, you're still with me. See, they're always testing boundaries. They want to see how far they can get with stuff. Now, I treat you like a 5, and you stand up to me, and you're like, blah, 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 you know, because I really pissed you off. Oh, if I'm a narc, I'm like, yes, I got them. But now I sense that you're pulling back from me because, like, wow, her boundary is a 5. Her limit's a 5. Wow. Man, I really got to change things. So then I become sweet to you, and oh, honey, I didn't mean to do that, and let's go on a romantic honeymoon thing together. All right. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I had her on a 5. Let's see if I can get her to a 6. okay? So, you know, a couple months go by, and then, damn, I'm gonna take her to a 6. Wow, she bought it. Wow, now I've got her at a 6. So these people have to have more, you understand. It's like a drug for them. That supply that Sam Vaknin talks about. They have to have more and more. So chances are, maybe now you're at a 7 or an 8, and you're going, this is bull crap. I mean, I can't take this. This is not what I signed up for. And so chances are, a lot of yourself you've kind of handed over to them, because they keep pushing your boundaries more and more. So, you know, if you're at a 7 or an 8 now, and you're like, boy, if I get to a 10, I don't know what, I'm going to be crazy. I'm going to be in the crazy house, right? So that's what's happening. So they use this sweet mean cycle, this power over you, and they use words to manipulate. A lot of people say, well, my narc, he said this or he said that, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they say. These people are liars. And it's not like they lie just because they can tell the truth, or they can lie. They lie because that's how they are. That's how they've grown up. They create illusions. They create things that aren't real. So when they're saying something to you, it isn't real. They have to do this to survive. Now, you can look at it as a lie, okay? If I'm telling you something, if I'm telling you a fantasy, if I said right now, I have a unicorn sitting right next to me, and oh, look, I'm feeding the unicorn. Oh, I'm giving the unicorn some Gatorade. If I start doing that, I'm creating an illusion in my head, right? Now, am I lying to you? Yes, but I'm not lying to you to hurt you. I'm just telling you that I've got a unicorn next to me, and I want you to believe it because I want you to be my friend. And if you don't believe it, I'm going to get mean at you, okay? So that's the kind of lying that they do. It's not that they're out to hurt you, but it is going to hurt you, right? Because if you don't play along with this, if you don't believe I have a unicorn here, then all of you can just leave my video. I'm just so angry, blah, 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 you know? So then we pick up on that. We you know, when the person's angry at us for not believing their illusion, then we're like, wow, I need to believe the illusion. So we deny our own thoughts, our own gut feelings on stuff. We're like, well, that person said they're really great, so I'm going to keep believing they're really great. And we have a vested interest in it. So what I say is we go no contact, cut off that vested interest, get with somebody healthier that doesn't have to have a unicorn sitting next to him in the seat, and do it that way. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that with you this morning, or whenever time you're seeing this. It was on my mind, and just let you know that, no, you're not the crazy one. You're being put in a position where you're going to get crazier and crazier, I think, because things aren't going to make sense. And if you keep buying into that, if you go to a 7 or an 8, or if you go to a 10 even, you're just being pushed, your boundaries are being tested. Because look, if you get away from these people and then you start hanging around regular people, they're not going to test your boundaries like that. They're going to respect your boundaries. They're going to collaborate with you, and that is the best way to do it, I think. So anyways, we love you guys, and you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.